Some additional information for today. At 5 a.m. this morning, we temporarily suspended fire operations to allow the partial demolition of the east wall. This allowed the large, heavy machinery to make access and begin removing some of the east wall. As a result of the suspension of the fire operations, coupled with the overcast weather and the heavy machinery that was removing the east wall and bumping into and removing some of the trash that's on fire, we did have an increase in smoke production since then. I'm happy to report that at 1 p.m. today, we resumed the fire operation aspect, including flowing multiple apparatuses, multiple fire trucks with water, including hand lines. We continue to partner with our numerous state and federal agencies, including the EPA and the ATF. And I know that we've faced some significant challenges, as we've already discussed over the course of the last several days, including today. But we continue to move swiftly, and we're making some significant progress.
The EPA has been collecting air samples throughout the last several days and conducting air monitoring with a live data feed that we're providing to Incident Command. We have distributed the data summary report for the last 24 hours, and that has been posted up on miamidade.gov/wastefire. Anyone noticing that will see that particulate measurements at the northwest and south end of the fence line of the facility were at a good or moderate classification level when averaged over the last 24 hours, but concentrations within the facility closer to the fire were higher. Beginning this morning, EPA air monitors noticed that a higher concentration of particulates was measured at the north fence line, and consistent with wind directions heading that way. This concentration persisted for a number of hours in a manner that had not been observed over the last 72 hours. Live and continuous data was provided to Miami-Dade with projections of what the 24-hour average at this location might look like if these concentrations persisted throughout the day.
The key message to the community with regards to safety and keeping people well is avoidance of the smoke wherever possible. So if you live in the area, staying indoors, keeping the windows closed, running the air conditioners is key. If you notice that your air filter in the home is turning dark, it's a good idea to change those air filters with as high a quality filter as you can get. If you must go outside, and you're in the area of concern, wearing a high quality mask will help keep you safe. But the general recommendation is to stay indoors, especially if you have other respiratory illnesses or other medical conditions. It's always a good idea to stay indoors and away from the smoke.
The EPA has produced their third 24-hour report, which residents can all find, along with their previous two reports online at miamidade.gov/wastefire. We're working closely with the EPA and our partners at Jackson Health System to review the latest reports and provide updated recommendations. As you heard from Chief Jadala, Miami-Dade Fire Rescue is continuing to work tirelessly to put out the blaze. They've performed a demolition to create more access for the firefighters, and this is key to putting out the fire. As the firefighters gain greater access to the remaining blaze, we do anticipate an increase in smoky conditions. Out of an abundance of caution and based on the EPA guidance, we're recommending that all residents residing between Northwest 74th Street and Northwest 92nd Street and Northwest 92nd Avenue to Northwest 112 Avenue remain indoors today, Friday, February 17th. Any residents with pre-existing respiratory and cardiac conditions, as well as older adults, young children, and expectant mothers, should take additional precautions, such as wearing a mask if you need to be outdoors. You'll hear directly from our Miami-Dade Public Schools, as well as from our Doral Mayor, about any updates related to schools and parks. So again, you may visit miamidade.gov/wastefire for the latest updates. In closing, I want to again thank our first responders for their extraordinary work around the clock this week.
What I think are the parameters of what we should be doing in the city of Doral. I reiterate, I'm a resident within that area, less than a half a mile from this facility. And the only thing that I would add is obviously If you don't need to go outside for the next couple of days and you live in that area like I do, please try not to go outside. Try to avoid going outside. And if for some reason you have respiratory problems, no matter what age, certainly if you go outside, wear a mask as the doctor mentioned. The experts, I think, have done a fantastic job in helping our community get prepared for this incident and what's occurred since the incident started. I want to thank the men and women of Miami-Dade County Fire Department once again for the fantastic job they've done, not only in containing, but in helping conclude eventually this fire that unfortunately occurred. Again, I will be following the recommendations that have been put forth by all the experts here, and that Mayor Levine Cava mentioned. And I hope that my fellow Doral residents and businesses in the area also follow the same rules.
Based on recommendations received this morning by Miami-Dade County and the federal EPA regarding today's operations and conditions, the city of Doral has decided to close Doral Glades Park and Doral Legacy Park effective immediately until further notice. Along with that, in an abundance of caution, all outdoor programming and events at all parks will be rescheduled to a later date. All of the building inspections scheduled for today will be rescheduled till Tuesday, February 21st. Our Doral Police Department has been working in conjunction with Miami-Dade County Public Schools Police, as well as schools in the affected area, Doral International Math and Science Charter School and Divine Savior Academy, to assist in school traffic and an orderly and safe dismissal. We remind you to continue to avoid the area and remain indoors today, adhering to the precautions and the advisories put out by our experts regarding today's conditions. For those with pre-existing respiratory and cardiac conditions, elderly populations, young children, and expecting mothers, we recommend that you take additional precautions. Stay tuned for updates on these important developments through the city's social media platforms, websites, and updates will be in constant communication with Miami-Dade County for more information. I want to continue to thank our Mayor of Miami-Dade, Daniela Levine Cava, as well as the brave men and women of Miami-Dade County Fire Department and our police departments who have continued to keep our community safe.
Our district has been in close contact and coordination with Miami-Dade County and the city of Doral based on changing conditions with the fire, weather, as well as changing firefighting, as well as the report from the EPA. Today, Miami-Dade County Public Schools sent out direct communications to the parents of the affected schools, Andrea Castillo Preparatory Academy and Ronald Reagan Senior High, requesting that they come and pick up their children early from school. That process has begun. It is underway. It is smooth. We ask parents to be patient. We appreciate the city of Doral's support with traffic. At last count, Andrea Castillo had less than 45 students and Ronald Reagan had less than 700 as part of that dismissal. Those students that are not able to be picked up early, of course, will be maintained safe and secure within the school. Throughout the area of Doral, outdoor activities have been canceled and will remain canceled through Monday, which of course is a holiday. We will be reevaluating activity restrictions on Monday to determine what happens.